Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm King Posh, and today we're looking at this 2021 Forsberg Racing Nissan Altimaniac. Here is the share code. Now, someone requested this tune, so I'm going to say his name, Bailey Jerchin. Probably messed that up, but anyways, huge shout out to this person. Here's the share code for the car so you can find it. It's got 1300 horsepower, and yeah, so that's my master all-wheel drive. I do have another one as well. I haven't made a video for it yet, and I'll get there eventually. I have this one from 2023. This is my King's rear-wheel drive. If you'd like to see the rear-wheel drive tune, let me know in the comments below, and I'll make sure it happens. That one has at least 2012 horsepower. So, yeah, we'll get over that later. But this thing was a pain in the butt to tune, and yeah. So let's get into it, show you guys everything I've done to this thing to get this thing to go sideways and stay sideways. So it's got all-wheel drive drivetrain. It starts out with rear-wheel drive, but I'm telling you what, it feels like a front-wheel drive car when I first started tuning this thing. All right, the front always wanted to take control, and that's probably why someone asked me to tune this car, because it was a pain in the butt. Either way, we're here. We got it done. It's got a snow tire compound on there. All right, maxed out width in the front, 265. All right, stock at 295 in the rear. All right, I was able to use my Wed Sport TC105N rims on here. Don't need to go over there. It's got 18-inch rims in the front and 18-inch rims in the rear. And it's got a maxed out track width in the rear as well. There's nothing for the front. It's got a 7-speed transmission. If I put it in a 6-speed, as you can tell, it would take you up to an S2 class. I already tried this thing at S2, and it was just too much. This tune is pretty much maxed to this point of S1 900. Either way, moving on. It's got a race drive line and a drift differential. Here we just got stock brakes. And it's got a stock springs and dampeners. And I think this is actually a drift kit. I'll be honest with you. I think the stock springs is a drift kit. Now, they have race springs here in Rally. All right, but you can tune the stock springs and dampeners. And it really does feel like it's the drift kit. All right. And then here, everything is pretty much stock. Just to have that power. All right. I mean, yeah, you can put these on there, go up to 2012 horsepower. But like I said, this tune is maxed. So, you know, I mean, it does work. Just prepare to use a lot of e-brake if you go into the S2 range with 1200 and what is it? I always say 1200. It's 2012. Yeah, 2012. 2012. That's what I should be going with. Anyways, let's get into this tune and show you guys the craziness that I put into getting this thing to stay sideways. So as you can tell, it's got 15 in the front and 55 in the rear just to get that back end out. Here is the gearing. It does have a 7-speed transmission, but this 7th gear means nothing. All right, you can put this up, down, wherever, and it will not change that top speed. You move 6th gear anyway, left and right, and it's going to change the top speed. All right, so it doesn't even know that the 7th gear exists. I don't know why, but either way, moving on. Alignment is wild, all right? As you can tell, negative 5.0 for both and out for 5.0 for just the rear, just to get this rear end, you know, happy, all right? Anything less on this one and on this one going into like near the positive or even into the positive, the front wanting to catch and try to drive straight. It was madness. Anti-roll bars were all over the board. I first started with this thing and I just went with 1 and 1 and it seems to work out. Springs are completely strange. I did the front as low as you can go. Rear is maxed out just to, you know, make sure this skips. The front end has just been such a huge issue this whole entire tune. So I took this up another inch higher than the rear, brought the rear all the way down, raced up the front end. Hopefully that would fix the issue I was dealing with. Dampening, I went with all kinds of numbers to just figure something out, and said, you know what, let's just make it completely stiff so it can actually just skip across the road. And that's what I did there. Aero, it's got none in the front, so then, it has 95 pounds on there. You can't get rid of it. But I maxed it out in the rear just to counter what the front end kept on doing with this car. Brakes are just stock brakes, can't really do anything with that. And then as you can tell with this differential, I basically made this thing rear-wheel drive even though it's got an all-wheel drive kit on it. Alright, so we did 100% acceleration and 21% deceleration. I saw this with my best scores around the festival for drifting. And then of course I did 100%. I had this thing at 86, it was terrible. Went up to 96, still didn't work. 98, still didn't work. 100, it works. Alright, so we got 100%. It doesn't mean it has 100% to the rear. It's still all-wheel drive. It still has like 1.5 or 0.5%. I don't know. But if you can get this on the rock and floor it, the front tires are still going to spin. So it's not actually 100% to the rear. It is what it is. But that's what I did to this car. It was a wild tune. Very crazy to get this thing sideways and stay sideways. And like I said, you can go into S2, but just you'll be hitting e-brake a lot more, and it actually will feel like it's, even with 100% going to the rear, it'll feel like it's front-wheel drive. It really does. It's wild. But either way, we got it, and it works. All right, it gets sideways. And it is snappy. You know, that front end, it's snappy. Well, it was a 39.9. My best is a 43 with this thing. And I said, oh, it's good. I'm going to share it. You know. But right there is what you could get with that. But it is staying sideways. There's a 40, 420. Getting better. But I mean, when I was testing this, at least the tires were warmed up. We're doing this cold, so that kind of makes sense to me now that I think about it. I'm out here just constantly tweaking left and right. The car's all damaged all the way around because I put it through as much pain and suffering as possible to get this thing sideways. There's a 42. See, it just keeps going up. So, at least it's working. And it's ready for open drift lobbies. So, there's that. But I'll take it and give it full speed. Full power. So you can at least see what it does. Why not? I know you guys want to see. Like, King, are you sure you're talking about what you're talking about? Look how... it's not that bad of a car as it is. I think it just pushes its limits if you go into an S2 with this tune. Of course, we're in like second, low gears with this car, But once you go crazy with this thing, it's something else. All right, so let's just show you guys what it's like. All right, take that, install. All right. Now, I'm not going to sit here and mess with the gears. We're just going to take it out. I took it out. I think like 5th and 6th gear was basically the new second gear and third gear. All right. But it's wild. It really is. Pull to the left there. I'm already on my e-brake. Already bouncing off the wall there. Alright. Pushing this tune to beyond its limits. I am turning my wheel as hard as I can to the right here, just to keep it staying sideways, because it wants to straighten out. Right there, it just does not want to turn. Look at this. It is on its beyond its limit. It really is. All right. Push, push, push. There's a 43-1 right off the bat. It works, but you're gonna have to fight it. All right. All right. She's angry, and you gotta try to calm her down. She is a force to be reckoned with. That's for sure. Very snappy. You notice that? Very snappy. Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, it did worse there. But, yeah. Like I said, I think, you stay in the S1 range, 1,300 horsepower, you're good. You take it up here and, it's at your own risk. It's your own problem, basically. All right? It's your own problem to deal with. But if you want to stress out, your hands in either controller or steering wheel, or keyboard, have at it. All right? But if it's up to me, just keep it in the S1 range. You'll be fine. All right? That's a lot. I mean, look at the nice new top speed with that thing anyways. But either way, loading that back up. Did you see that? It says right there, second, third gear points, and then of course it says everything else. And put it right back to where it's easier to control and handle. And that is the tune. That is the build of this wild Nissan Altimaniac. And it is a maniac. The moment you go into that S2 range, it is a maniac to drift for sure. It's crazy. Either way. Well, hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely hit that like button. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out. And yeah.